What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 39, Manchester United mid-season implosion. What is going on when it is called the Realistic Career Mode? I guess we should expect it. Lots to get through today, starting with this massive bid for the club captain on the transfer list. I've got to let him go. And it's an interesting deal as well because they're offering Lewis Miley, the young Newcastle United midfielder that's got great potential in the game. And of course, we're going to lose Kobe at some point. If not in January, then next season, as he's also requested a transfer. So it's not actually a bad deal, but I plan to keep Kobe for the rest of the season. So with that being the case, maybe I'll go back in for Lewis next season and just ask Inter for more money up front. And De Ligt, of course, we know now 86 overall, 29 the prime of his career, but now he's requested that transfer. Clubs know that. That'll bring his valuation down. Let's go for around 65 mil. I'd say that's quite realistic, personally. Inter Milan agree. Possibly could have got a bit more money, but I'd say that's fair, really, for a want-away club captain on the transfer list. I'll take it. So with that being the case, this will most likely be his final game for the club, so let's jump right into it. Brighton away on the South Coast on Christmas Day. You know, I'm an advocate for this. I genuinely do believe that Christmas Day Premier League football should return to the modern game. Away at Brighton on the back of our home loss to Nottingham Forest, outside the top four, got to return to winning ways here, and a big 3 points. So with the January window opening today, we'll see 2 sales in about a week's time in game. Oh, brilliant work. And Murillo did enough there, and Trafford did enough as well. Great defending and keeping from our numbers 5 and 1. But yeah, we've got Gomez going to Chelsea for 40 million. Don't forget that. I've forgotten all about it. There's been so much drama. I've already forgot I'm selling a player to Chelsea for 40 million. But Gomez is off to Stamford Bridge. And obviously that De Ligt deal's about to go through to Inter as well. So we'll have a lot of money to work with. But honestly, I don't really know where we're going to reinvest it. We need a bit more squad depth, I'd say. Tired legs out there for this game tonight as well. But I don't know who exactly is going to be coming in. As Ramos holds it up, and the shot from range goes just wide. I already have a plan for centre half, so I'm not worried about... That's gone out, isn't it? No. I'm not worried about that position, but for central midfield, well, I might actually go back to Inter Milan and say, is that Lewis Miley deal still on the table? Because Hugo denied. I could do with him in my team. Great young midfielder, very versatile as well. But anyway, 27 minutes in, still 0-0. Can't afford another loss. We've been dropping points left, right and centre, both home and away recently. Can't afford another slip-up. That's most likely what it's going to be. When Manchester United's heads have dropped over the recent years, they stay down. Half an hour in, it looks like it's the same here. I actually think it would be unfair to say that it's been happening over the past 10 or 12 years in the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era. It's really been the past like 3 or 4, I would say. I've noticed it more as Ramos makes it too. You know, after Solskjaer, you know, with Ten Hag and Ralph, and recently with Ruben as well, it's been a lot worse than I remember under Van Gaal and Mourinho, and even under Moyes as well. It's just constantly, you know, they go a goal down and they just look beaten. They just look broken. And the same is happening here as well. Like we said at the top of the episode, it's the realistic career mode though. I'm not surprised. And I think to me it all stems from the lack of leaders in the team as well. You know, this is not the kind of team that I remember from, you know, yesteryear that I would watch. You know, when there was several leaders in that team. I mean, you know, Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs. Yeah, these were players who just really knew how to grab games and situations by the scruff of their neck and say, no more, let's sort this out. I look at this Manchester United team and I think, Bruno Fernandes is a fabulous player, and I love watching the guy play. He plays with so much flair and creativity. He runs his socks off. He's always covering so much ground. But I look at him as a leader, and his body language is terrible. Absolutely awful. And sometimes you look at the guy and think, mate, your team needs you here. You know, you're the captain, and he can do it with his feet. But with his body language... Oh, Susak fires way over the bar. His body language and his attitude at times, I just think, mate, come on. Like, seriously. I think he's a brilliant player, and I love watching him play, and I really like his game. But I don't see him as that kind of captain that Manchester United need, especially during these times. And with De Ligt about to go, I thought I'd give him the armband for the final game, but I've got to give it to someone else post De Ligt. I don't know who it needs to be, but they need a real strong head on their shoulders, because at the moment, everything is going wrong. And there is no way we're back in the Champions League next year not playing like this. Get ready to listen to Conference League anthem at Old Trafford next season, because that's what it's going to be at best. Yep, please don't get it twisted. I really love watching Bruno Fernandes play. He's a heck of a player and he's a joy on his day. But that's the problem when things aren't going well. Is he the sort of leader Manchester United need? Not too sure. Has De Ligt been for me in this team? Not really. He'll miss the final game of December. Manchester derby away at the Etihad against the league leaders. As things stand, 2 wins in 6 in all competitions. We are going to get battered here at the Etihad unless we can pull something special out of the bag. Like, to be fair, Amorim did earlier on in the season with that late Diao winner at the Etihad. Man City away next. I'll tell you one player that I always thought was a really good leader in that Manchester United team, but you don't normally think of him as a leader, and that was actually Van der Sar. And Van der Sar spent about 5 or 6 years with Manchester United. He came there late, if you remember. But he told this great story on, I can't remember what podcast he was on, as James Trafford makes a good save early, and Terrell does brilliantly well there. I can't remember what podcast he was on, but he told a great story when, I think it was Ferdinand was having a go at him. He made a mistake, trying to play out from the back or something. And Ferdinand sort of like turned around and just absolutely, rollicked him. And Van der Sar was like, Rio, I don't need you to shout at me, Like, you know what I'm trying to do, it's the wrong execution, but calm down, like, seriously. And players like that who have, like, quiet leadership, I think sometimes people confuse, like, leadership as in being a player who needs to shout and throw his arms around and, let's go get stuck in and so on. And there's a time for that, but there's also a time for quiet leadership where it's, follow my example kind of thing. And I think sometimes there's different leaders, different styles, but Gordon fires in the opener. I don't really know what Fernandes' style is. I think Fernandes' style is just, I'll drag us through with my performances and, my footwork and whatever. But that doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. And when things aren't working, well, you need something else in the locker, mentally. And right now, I don't know what we need, but it's a reset. Down a goal, not surprised. Having said that about Van der Sar, I mean, he could be vocal when he needed to be. He could be more expressive when the situation requires it. But again, we talked about that before. It's the emotional intelligence of knowing when to raise your voice, when to talk that way, when to... Oh, what a ball! Larson alone! Oh, off the bar! When to express yourself in that manner and when to keep it a bit more quiet and calm. And that was the chance, and we won't get a better one. That was the time I needed to be calm. And just couldn't take it. Yeah, well in Araujo, we'll have that. Ball. Larson. Sanchez not going to miss. Oh, he is. He's in the post. Come on. Second time we've hit the woodwork. How are we still behind? He's on 0% fitness as well, so I had to take him off, but I can't believe that. Seriously, Hugo Wedding, that's the kind of tackling I need to see, mate. Tackle with a purpose. And, I guess, okay, we'll get it back. Mika denied by Restes. How on earth are we still losing this game, man? And Dimling's alone at the far post. Clipped in. Headed back. And no, he's offside. Come on. Don't deserve to lose this game, man. Really? Oh, it's too easy. And it's 2-0. That ridiculous, man. On top in this whole second half. Twice we hit the woodwork. Brilliant save by Restes. 2-0 down. Game over. It's going to be 2 wins in 7 and 3 straight losses in the Premier League. When it rains, it pours. We know the saying. That's definitely the case in Manchester. And it is here at the Etihad as well. How have we lost this game? We can't sort every issue out in January, but we'll do our best within this month. De Ligt gone. Gomez gone. Tons of money in the budget. Got to bring at least 1 or 2 more players this window. However, my first decision is going to be this. I'm going to convert Jarrell to centre back, and I did say I was planning on doing this, playing as an LCB alongside Destiny at left back and then Murillo sliding into middle. I really like Murillo, by the way. We're talking about captains in this team. I could definitely see it going to Murillo, but yeah, I'm going to convert Jarrell to LCB. I did say, he's got that secondary position there, and Destiny's always going to be my first choice left back as well, in the prime right now. So for Jarrell to get the game time he wants, this is probably the right move here. Convert him to CB. He's got the stats to play there. I think he'll be fine, because we've still got Dorgu as a backup left back. So yeah, I think we'll be all right. And of course, we're planning to bring back Lenny for next season. So I don't think we need a new centre half in this window. I think we can wait until next year. But I do want a new central midfielder, that is for sure. And there's lots of names on the list I'm looking at here that I think would be a really good fit for us too. The number one target I really want though is Adam Wharton at Crystal Palace, as we know, a tremendous passer of the ball. And I think with Mainu going to go in the summer, he'd be the perfect replacement for Cobby. And there's a few other players I'm quite keen on as well. And I'd love to bring back Scott McTominay. Now, you know I'm a huge fan of his, and I've always been a huge fan of his as well. I know it's become trendy to love McTominay, but if you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know when I've signed him about 20 times because I absolutely love the guy. And I'm so happy he won the Serie A MVP, leading Napoli to the Serie A title. And maybe that's what we need, you know, a leader back in this team who cares like Scott McTominay did. That's what we're missing right now, but he's loved at Naples, man, so I don't think I can bring him back. With that being the case, I'm not sure who I'll go for here. Well, let's get our first win in a while under our belts first, and then we'll think about transfers afterwards. Following game, third one today, first one in January, FA Cup third round. As we always say, when poor league form occurs, a nice distraction in the Cup or Europe is always a bonus. That's what we're looking for here, a decent Cup run whilst we fall apart in the Premier League. Luton away, our first game of our trophy defence. I'm looking down the list of players in the Manchester United team right now, and I'm thinking, I don't even know who I'd give the captain's armband to, if not Fernandes. I mean, you know, I've just been, you know, criticising his body language and whatnot earlier, but honestly, at the moment, I think he probably is the most suited to wear the armband, because you need someone that's going to play the majority of the games. So it can't be someone like, you know, Johnny Evans, long-serving, as Jadon Sancho went in, didn't it? No, come on! Someone get that ball and rip the magnet out of it, constantly in the woodwork. But, yeah, I mean, Johnny Evans has been there, obviously, coming back. That's going to go in. For such a long time. He doesn't play enough. And, you know, Lisandro Martinez, again, gets injured quite a lot as well. I don't know if I'll give it to him. I don't really know. So, as critical as I've been over Fernandes' leadership, honestly, it's a difficult one, because he probably is the best choice, if I'm being honest. But I think that says more about the squad building over the past few years, as opposed to Fernandes himself. Anyway, 11 minutes in, finally we've got ourselves a goal. Jadon Sancho at the opener. And I turned down a bid from Leverkusen pre-game for him because, unlike in real life, he's been brilliant for me in this save. And Kubo on the other side almost made it 2. Kaminski keeps it at 1. But this is the start we needed here at Kenilworth Road. Looking on top, looking to show no mercy, looking to get more goals, almost getting them. I guess it's a question for you guys. Who do you think should be Manchester United captain? Because of course there is a lot of talks that Bruno Fernandes will be leaving in the summer, possibly to Saudi Arabia. So if that is the case, they'll need a new captain. Many have said Maguire, and the problem with Maguire is, I went on record as saying this many years ago. The problem with Maguire is the pressure of wearing that captain's armband was too much for him, and I knew he'd play better without it. And lo and behold, I mean, you know, I don't like to blow my own trumpet because I'm not right very often, as you know. I get a lot of things wrong, but I was right about that. He's been much better since he relinquished the armband, and he's been much better with less pressure. So I wouldn't give it back to Maguire personally, as Hannibal shot his blocks. But you know, if that's the case, who would it be? As Hannibal on his comeback game does make it 2. Great to see him back on the pitch after dislocated shoulder. Hannibal doubles the lead. Manchester United surely going through. Yeah, I get so many footballing opinions wrong. It's quite nice when I actually get one right for a change, isn't it? Oh dear, I guess even a broken clock is right twice a day. So, you know, it had to happen at some point. But, yeah, would you give it to Maguire? Let's hypothetically say Fernandes does go in the summer. Would you give the captain's armband back to Harry Maguire? I would say no. I would say no. Even though it's probably the right choice after Fernandes, I would say no, because we've seen how much better he's been after that weight of wearing the armband was lifted. I was going to say off his shoulders. I guess off the bicep is more fitting. Pardon the pun. Anyway, 42 minutes in, still 2-0. I'll have a think, and then I'll say who I think should be captain after that. But, yeah, 2-0 here. Really should be 3 or 4. We should be home and dry right now. So just looking down a list of Manchester United players again. And honestly, oh, great ball, Susak. Great touch, Mika. Better finish, Bayerev. I probably would give it Lisandro Martinez as well. The only concern is the injuries, man. Just knowing he'd probably have to miss quite a few games this season. So who would you give the armband to in his absence? I don't know. But if Fernandes does go in the summer, which again is quite possible, I would say, if not Maguire, then I'll give the captain's armband to Lisandro Martinez personally. I'd say at the moment he's the best natural fit to wear that armband. Anyway, through in this game, comfortable win, and Lord knows we needed it. And of course, there's no replays now in the FA Cup from the third round proper. Is it the third round or the first round? No, it's the third round, isn't it? I think. But we'll see what we got in the fourth round, guys. And don't forget, this is our trophy. We won it last year, so of course we'll be hoping to retain it. Let's be honest here, it's the only winnable competition we got, because we're going to win the Premier League now, dropping the 7th. And I doubt we've got much chance of winning the Champions League either. It's going to be in the fourth round. Brighton at home, tough game there, and of course they just beat us at the Amex in our first game today. Right, let's just jump straight out on this next one as well, and the games don't get any easier either. Arsenal coming to Old Trafford right now, the closest threat to Man City leading the way, 4 points behind them. For us, we're already now 6 points behind Liverpool in 4th place. And if we are going to get back in the Champions League for next season, well, this kind of form, quite frankly, is not going to see us get there. We'll be lucky to make the top 10. Tough game here, Arteta side at Old Trafford, and honestly, we just got to stop the rot in the Premier League. 3 straight losses, I'll take a draw here. Gabby pops it back. As it's rolled inside, Fofana takes his time, shoots and scores. It was Fofana that struck it. I don't know how I didn't make the tackle there. I was right next to him, pressed the circle button, and I just missed the ball somehow. This is one of these moments here I just think, I don't know how on earth I didn't make the tackle once or twice. And Arsenal get themselves in front. This Premier League campaign is looking a lot like last season's we just had in real life. Terrible in the Premier League. The only saving grace right now is in Europe. And it's going to be 2. Saka offloads. I can't get it sorted. Instead, I wanted to keep this save as realistic as possible for as long as I could. I'd like to say I'm doing a decent job right now, because just like in real life, what we're seeing is Manchester United playing well in Europe, but in the Premier League, every team we take on comes to Old Trafford and thinks we'll turn them over no problem, and that is what's happening. Great footwork by Sanchez, and the shot goes just over the bar. Still down by 2, but yeah, it's just like in real life. Look good in Europe, in the Premier League, we're awful. We've got West Ham away on the weekend, so with only 3 days worth of rest, I'm throwing in the towel already. Forget it. We've got more chance of going to that game in London. A fresh 90 minutes of... hang on a second. Well, Tyler Dibbling is through, and from a quick breakaway, the bench boys have combined for a quick goal. Well, I've just taken off the starters, and out of nowhere, we're back in the game. Hang on, now. Susak, onside! What a turnaround! In 3 minutes! We've emptied the bench, and the boys have come off and said, we'll show the starters how it's done. To be fair, we've actually not been as bad as this recent form suggests. I mean, there's been a couple of games, in particular that Man City game, where there's no way we should have lost there. Ah, it's wonderfully done. Trafford bails me out, though, and keeps it at 2-2. And we just needed a bit of luck. In this game, we've got it from 2 goals down, battling back to 2-2. Oh, Trafford, brilliant save. And that's kept in play, and the shot comes in. Trafford to save again, couldn't clear it, and Sambi Lokonga turns it in. All that hard work for nothing. I'm going to end on that West Ham game and hopefully manage to win at least 1 Premier League game today, and I'll save match days 7 and 8. Oh, that's a foul. Ref, come on. I don't think it was a foul, but at this point I'll appeal for anything and save match days 7 and 8 in the Champions League for the following game and see whether we make it through or we'll go into the playoffs. We're guaranteed to at least go to the playoffs, but the Premier League is the problem. It's going to be another loss. It is now 4 straight defeats in the Premier League, and I'll say it once again, Champions League next season, absolutely no chance. We'll be lucky to make the Conference League playing like this. So frustrating, because we're doing alright, we're actually doing okay. We're just not keeping our composure. As we often say, that is more of a mental thing than a physical thing. Right, let's jump out of this one then and into the following game. And West Ham away is our final one today. And if we can't win this or even get a point, then we'll put it this way. I think I might well be getting the sack midway through the season, because we are dropping not only out of the Champions League places, not only out of the European places, but outside the top 10 as well. Premier League free fall, just like the Red Devils experienced in real life this season. You can't say this save is not realistic right now. Clues in the name. Final game today, West Ham away in London, where we desperately need a win. Yep, our objectives at the start of the season were to reach the Champions League final. and also win a domestic double, which quite frankly is not going to happen. I mean, I would say the very best we can do from here is somehow claw and scrap our way to 4th place, just like we did last season, the absolute best in the Premier League, and retain the FA Cup as well. Forget Europe, I have no doubt. Oh, that's a pen. What? I have no doubt we won't make the final in the Champions League, but how is that not a pen? That looked like a penalty to me. I must have seen that incorrectly, because I felt for sure Sancho was tricked by Kurt Zouma there. Oh my god, when it rains it pours, and even after doing all the hard work, I still don't know how many times have we hit the woodwork. I was going to say this season, but in this episode alone, as Sancho finds Larson, pocket space to run into, Sanchez alongside him, he won't hit the post, he'll hit the back of the net. Manchester United back on level terms, Sanchez goal drought over. 18 minutes to go, sob Barcelona in the week, man. Need to somehow find a winning goal here. And if someone's going to get it, you'd put your money on Sanchez. Denied. 15 to play. We don't deserve to be on this streak, man. We deserve it. We've played really well in a lot of these games. Just haven't had the rub of the green. 8 to play, and I've not made any changes because again we've Sanchez! 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 Come on! We played really well! We deserve a win! We might have got it! And who else but him? Sanchez once again! Come on, gotta close this out. Can't let it slip in the final minutes. It would be such a Manchester United thing to do. If we do though, Trafford with a brilliant save. And Hickey picks it up, and I think we'll be alright. Oh, yeah, we're going to be fine to get us to Trafford, and that is going to do it. Big stop by Trafford late. Big late goal from Sanchez, and finally, we didn't deserve to be on that streak, man. We deserved 3 points at some point, and we finally get it with a bit of resilience late, which is exactly what the doctor ordered. But that will do it for today's episode of The Realistic Crimo, guys. Big thank you for watching. Enjoyed. If you had, please like. Which you all have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with match day 7 and 8 in the Champions League phase, as we'll wrap it up, aim to stay in the top 8 and bypass the play-in. We'll also have more games in the Premier League, aim to build on this win against West Ham and the rest of the January window, where we should make at least one signing to add to our small squad. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon. Man, did we need that.